So let's talk about AI. It's being hailed as this incredible co-pilot for sales teams, right? Promising to supercharge everything from finding new leads to closing those big deals. But, and this is a huge but, with all that power comes some pretty serious risk. So how do you actually tap into that potential without leaking your most valuable secrets? Let's get into it.
And just so you know where we're getting this from, everything we're about to cover comes straight out of Chapter 3 of a tutorial on generative AI prompts by Virtualization Options LLC.
And that really gets to the heart of the matter, doesn't it? This is the question that I bet is on a lot of sales pros' minds. It's this super high-stakes balancing act. How do you get all the benefits of AI without, giving away the keys to the kingdom?
Okay, so here's how we're going to tackle this. Think of it like leveling up your skills. We'll kick things off with the core problem, what we're calling the sales AI dilemma. Then we'll walk through 3 levels of prompting, from foundational to scenario-based, all the way to strategic. And we'll wrap up with the safety rules you just can't afford to break.
You see, the dilemma is actually pretty straightforward. AI can be a massive help, right? Drafting emails, building proposals, but every single time you use it, there's a risk of exposing sensitive data. We're talking customer info, pricing strategies, all of it. It's that classic trade-off, isn't it? Power versus peril.
All right, let's dive into level 1 with foundational prompts. Now, the goal here isn't about cracking one specific deal. Nope, it's about building a whole toolkit of reusable, low-risk, high-value sales assets that you can use over and over again. And this is the absolute golden rule that makes everything else possible: abstraction and generalization. The key is learning to describe the shape of a problem, not the nitty-gritty details of the problem itself. So instead of Acme Corp, you'd say a mid-sized manufacturer. See the difference?
So what does that actually look like? Well, you could ask an AI to create, say, a cold email template for the manufacturing industry. Or you could have it generate a bunch of smart responses to common objections like, it's too expensive. You can even build out an entire follow-up sequence. What you end up with is this amazing set of assets you can use over and over again, all created without ever dropping a single client name or deal detail.
Okay, you with me? Let's level up. On to level 2. Now we're going to take that core principle of abstraction and start applying it to specific tactical situations you face every day. This is where we start using those tools out in the real world.
Let's say you're prepping for a big meeting. Instead of just dumping all your sensitive call notes into the AI, you create a generalized profile of the customer. Then you can ask the AI to suggest discovery questions, to highlight key points, and even to prep you for objections you might face from a hypothetical customer with those kinds of common industry concerns.
Just look at the difference here. It's night and day. On the left, you've got this prompt that's basically a data leak waiting to happen. It's got the customer's name, their budget, even competitive intel. That is a massive security risk. But on the right, that's the smart way to do it. It gives the AI just enough generic context to give you some genuinely helpful strategic advice, without exposing anything you shouldn't.
All right, time to get into the really advanced stuff. Level 3, strategic frameworks. This is where you go from using AI for basic tasks to using it for high-level strategy. This is where you go from just being a user to being a real strategist.
There's a quote from the source material that just nails this. See, expert prompting isn't about what you cram into the AI. It's about the strategic skill of knowing exactly what to reveal, what to generalize, and, most importantly, what to leave out entirely.
And this slide right here is a perfect example of that kind of thinking. Instead of asking the AI to write a whole proposal for a specific client, you ask it to build a reusable proposal framework. Look at how every piece is designed for safety. The ROI calculator, it uses placeholders. The benefits, they're general, like efficiency. Think of it this way. You're asking the AI to give you the blueprint, not build the entire house.
Okay, so we've seen what's possible when you do this right. Now, let's lock in the absolute non-negotiables. These are the critical rules you have to follow every single time. Think of this as your final safety checklist.
Okay, rule number 1. And seriously, this is the big one. If you walk away with just one thing today, make it this. This is the absolute foundation of trust with every single one of your clients.
Never, and I mean never, expose customer information. Full stop. No company names, no contact details, no specific deal values, and definitely no details from private conversations. That data, it's sacred. Treat it that way.
All right, on to rule number 2. This one is less about protecting your customer and more about protecting your own company. Because getting this wrong is like photocopying your secret playbook and mailing it directly to your competition.
You have got to protect your pricing and deal structure. This is your competitive edge. Don't put specific prices, your discount models, or any unique contract terms into a public AI prompt. Otherwise, you're literally training a global AI on your company's secret sauce.
And that brings us to our final and maybe most personal rule. Number 3. This is about protecting the one thing AI can't build for you, your credibility.
You have to verify everything. Listen, AI can and absolutely does make things up. They call them hallucinations for a reason. You walk into a meeting with bad info, that can kill a deal and your reputation, right there on the spot. Always fact check before you share anything with a customer.
So I want to leave you with one last thing. It's a simple gut check to use every time. From now on, before you hit enter on any prompt, just stop and ask yourself this one question. If a competitor saw this, what would they learn? If the answer is, well, anything, you need to go back and rewrite that prompt.